All right, we're gonna do seated in a chair, just a quick little series. Kind of wake up the legs, the arms, just a little bit of everything. I have an infinity band, circular band. You could take a TheraBand and loop it, tie it in a knot. You could use a booty band, although those booty bands that are fabric, they're a little bit stouter than this. So pick what you want. And I'm going to have a set of weights. I'm using 5 pounds. You could do heavier or lighter, or just move your arms in the direction that we're moving them in when we get to that. Whatever works for you. All right. Band goes around your thighs. So you slip your feet through and you wiggle the band up around your thighs. I like to be pretty fastidious in making sure my band doesn't have any creases because it's probably going to roll in on itself no matter what. All right. So once I get there, I'm going to have my feet like hips distance, sits bones distance. I'm going to scoot forward to the front of my chair. Hands on your thighs, press into the feet. So I'm thinking about pushing down and out through my feet, specifically my heels. Breathing in. And on your exhale, you're going to think, can I keep my head this level as I pull my spine back? So I am pushing through my feet, lengthening through the top of my head. And I'm thinking right in the center, pull that back. Now, my pelvis does start to roll. My head and tail are lengthening. Eventually, my ribs will pull back and my chest will pull back, but I'm not leading with my shoulders, right? So I'm just going to rock back and I'm rolling to the back of my sits bones. I'm going to pull my navel down, and then at a certain point I can go back enough, and I'm going to stay there. I'm using a little grip on my knees to help me a little bit. Breathe into my back body, and then slowly I'm going to roll back upright. And at the top, instead of like jamming my spine really far forward, what I'm going to do is just rock to the front of my sits bones and think about the longest curve forward from head to tail, but really getting my breastbone to lengthen. And I'm staying active in my abdominals from my breastbone to my pubic bone. And then you're going to round again, and you're going to go back, and I'm really active again with the feet, and I'm pushing out against my band while I do this. It's seated cat-cow, right? Just very subtle. And then you're going to go forward. And you can take the chin up if that feels good, and then you're going to find level. So just a little bit. Bring your feet a little bit narrower than sits bones distance and let your knees come together. And then all you're going to do is press out and in, and press out and in. And that's simple as that. Now, as you push out and in, are you flailing in your, like yo-yoing in your pelvis and your spine, flailing your body around? Hold that steady and stable. And you're just pressing out and in. Try not to roll your ankles as you do this. Try and keep the feet kind of grounded, almost like, again, you're pushing through the floor as you do this. We've got 4 more open and close with the band. Nice. And then bring your heels together and your toes apart and press out so you have a little turnout and little kind of like butterfly pulses with your legs. So I'm just staying open. I'm doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Really small. Come back to center. Bring the knees and feet together. Then separate the feet and knees about hips distance again. If you want more resistance, take your feet wider. If you want less, bring them closer together. But you have to be able to like pull the band taut. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to hold that. You're going to press into one foot. You're going to exhale. And you're going to lift one knee up and lower down. And you lift the other leg up and lower down. And the challenge here is to get that hip mobility. So you can go to one of the hip mobility exercise, one of the classes there, and work on that if you're having trouble folding at this hip crease without your whole back kind of doing this. Because you want to make sure you can get that drop and roll of your femur, of your thigh in the socket as you do this. So that you're strengthening your iliacus and your psoas, these muscles that connect your legs into your trunk. Can your shoulders stay relaxed? Can your neck and head be nice and easy? And I'm not staying, like maybe there's a little shift back and forth, but I'm aiming to stay pretty centered and balanced in my weight. All right, then bring it down. Keep the feet wide, but let the knees knock together. You're going to fold forward and grab your weights. the first thing we're gonna do is an overhead press. So now we're gonna, of course, keep our legs active. So we're gonna press into the feet, press the legs out so the knees are over the toes, and you're gonna bring your arms into like a goalpost or cactus position. Now, if you have shoulder issues, you might just wanna go from a low to a level elbow with the shoulder rather than elbow at this level overhead, because it might feel kind of pinchy in your shoulders. Another thing is to make sure that you don't let your elbows go behind your body right now. Have your elbows slightly in front. And if you can stay at the goalpost and reach up, you're gonna do that, pressing out into your band, a little hint of belly connection so that line from breastbone to pubic bone is active. And we're just gonna reach and tap the weights overhead. Again, if that's right for your shoulders, and come down. If not, just kind of lower the elbows a little beyond, like a little lower than the shoulder, and then just come up to shoulder height. So you're still working some shoulder muscles without pinching anything. If not, keep going fully overhead for 2. Breathing, 3 and 4. I'm thinking about squeezing my hand, squeezing the weight, squeezing my shoulders as I pull down, almost like I'm resisting as I pull down. You've got 5 more. 4, 3, keeping a little belly and a little leg work. 2, last one. And then bring the arms all the way down by your side. Let your legs rest if you need to. Shrug your shoulders up and inhale. Wiggle a little bit, exhale. Keep the waist long as you let your shoulders relax down. Press your legs against the band. Again, knees over toes. Keep your body really strong and straight so your trunk stays really straight as you hinge forward. So I'm rolling to the front of my sits bones, and I'm still pressing out, and I'm not arching my back to do that, but I'm also not rounding my back. I'm just trying to think, can I hinge in that hip joint again, right? So belly is pulling away from the thighs. I'm gonna kind of squeeze the back of my armpits, get my shoulder blades connected into my back rib cage, and I'm gonna go as far forward as I feel comfortable, and I stay connected with my legs and my belly, and then I'm gonna roll the arms back, squeezing my shoulder blades together, squeezing my elbows towards my body, basically towards each other, and then come down for 1. Rowing back, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just 10. Kick those triceps or the arms out straight behind you. Just hold there. Open the collarbones, pull the belly away from the thighs, keep the legs active, keep the feet active, and then slowly bring the arms down. You can let the weights go, or you can keep them by your side. You could put them on your thighs. Whatever you want to do is fine with me. You're gonna stay pretty far forward, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna slide the band down to kind of middle of our calves, shins area. You know, you might go a little lower, a little higher, depends on the body. Step your feet wide enough to, again, where you're feeling some tension there. All right, so then what we're gonna do is we're gonna see, can we extend one leg out, straightening it and coming in. Extend the other leg out and in. So quadricep, hip flexor strength, right? So we're working on that. Notice when you straighten one leg, are you rocking, or sometimes we lean away from that side. So as you go side to side, maybe you're like, I can only get here. So maybe that means you do this without the band. Maybe you just practice this without anything around the legs. And maybe you have a lighter band you want to challenge yourself with, or you use a very light ankle weight, something like that, so that you could slowly build up. And the goal is to be able to do this and fully extend the knee without kind of leaning our trunk all over the place. All right, the next time you're gonna hold it out there, you're gonna stay, and you're gonna see, could you lower and lift? Just 3. Can the knee stay straight as you do that? 1, come in, try the other side. Again, do this without the band if it's too much. 1, 2, right there, my knee wants to bend. Keep it straight. 1, and come all the way in. Then with your weights, you're gonna come by your side. You're gonna bring your feet back. Make sure that you're having an appropriate amount of tension in your band. So I would say now my feet are at least hips distance, maybe even shoulders distance. I'm bringing my feet back to where my heels can stay grounded, And that's going to be different for everybody because everyone has a different range of motion in your ankle and tension in the feet and the back line. So whatever you can do, you're going to bring your feet back because we're going to make our way up to standing. We're going to go back and forth, so like a squat, but sit to stand. So you're keeping consistent pressure, knees over the middle toes, not the pinky toe, not the big toe. I'm digging into those heels, belly's pulled. I'm going to kind of squeeze my weight up into my shoulder, feeling that connection, and then coming up. And right here, I'm not leaning back, I'm not popping my knees back. I'm bringing my hips over my feet, over my ankles, and then you'll go down. I think about my sits bones reaching for the chair. And then we do that again, coming up 2, hips over feet, going back down. 3, I'm keeping consistent pressure against my band. The weights are totally optional in your hands. I just happen to have them with me, so why not? Why not add a little load? This is not so much load that it feels like it's adding too much challenge, but it might be. Just depends on the body, where you are in the season of your life. 1 more. And then come down, let the weights go, unband yourself, and you're done. Great work. Until next time, keep moving.